Hello everybody, I am Creeper. Today I'm back with a brand new video. Today, we're back talking about Doctor Who filming, which is great because we're going to talk about the Judoon, the 13th Doctor and other extras on set, on location even, at Gloucester Cathedral. There's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. We've got as many photos and videos that I could try and find to kind of cramp together as much as I could to show you guys, to go, here's what I think's going on in this episode, here's a few interesting photos, some of which you may or may not have seen before. Before we do start the video though, I'd like to say there is an important, massively important video coming, I think it's later on this week, so please do keep an eye out for that. I know it's one of those vlog ones where it's like an update vlog thing, but it is very important if you want to understand what's going on for the future of the channel in regards to the next month or so, what's going to be happening, because I've got exams coming up and I want to kind of talk about that, as well as a few little ideas I've got for future projects that are going to be happening in the summer, some of which are incredibly exciting and some you should be very looking forward to indeed. Anyway, let's stop rambling about myself and talk about some Doctor Who filming. So we're going to break this down into a few sections. First of all, we're going to talk about the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, on location. And then we're going to be talking about the Judoon, the designs, what they were doing, and then a full video of an entire scene that we have from various different angles. We're going to talk about a close-up shot of their new weapon. We're going to be talking about the extras, what seems to be happening in these official sort of press photos, as well as a few other characters and what might happen to them as well, and who they are, what they're doing. And then we're going to try and piece together sort of basic information and rumours regarding the episode and all that sort of thing. I think we'll throw that in to start off with. This has been told to apparently be episode 6 of Series 12. Not 100% sure on where that's come from. It's just been talking about on Twitter, and someone must have some sort of grasp on it. It is most likely a load of rubbish, like people thought the Witchfinders was going to be episode 5 last year, and that never happened. But for now, we've got nothing contradicting it, so we're just going to pretend that yes, we'll just say this is episode 6. It makes sense in regard to filming schedule and usually how they do things, because they're around about halfway through filming now, and that would, totally make sense since they've obviously filmed interior shots with the Judoon, because we got a press photo before they even went outside, and then obviously they went outside filming. So I presume this might be for around mid-series, even if it isn't episode 6, it could be episode 5, 6, 7, around that would be my sort of estimated guess. In regards to where they are at filming. Starting off, where were they? So they were at Gloucester Cathedral. It's a lovely little, I mean, they picked a great day for it. It was really sort of hot, bright. It looked great, and it's going to look brilliant on camera as well as the rest of Series 11 did. They were always good at making it look good, and just the sunny weather's going to really help it. It's a lovely place, lots of people sort of knocking about, and, within minutes, obviously, because they announced it the night before that they were filming there, which is really odd, because, they did that, like, back in, like, Series 10, 9, all that sort of thing, and that's where you got the Doctor Who sort of set people, who came and took photos and got autographs and all that, and that got very much out of hand. We're not going to talk about the DWSR today, but in general, it's very odd because they've not done this for Series 11 and they haven't done this so far for Series 12, so I think it might have been just some sort of fan interactivity, saying, open it up for fans to come and have a watch of the filming, because, after all, it is an interesting process, and it is great for people who are interested in that sort of side of things, the behind the scenes and all that sort of thing, to come and watch, because they didn't advertise that for when they were filming in Sheffield last year, but they're advertising it here, which is, probably because of the Judoon, but it was interesting that they actually gave the location as well. So yeah, very interesting, but great choice for a location. A cathedral has been used many times before. I'm trying to think, Lazarus Experiment is the one that comes off the top of my head. Very nice historical building, kind of, you can build on that a little bit in terms of either religion or spacey stuff, whatever. Gloucester was also used for filming the next Doctor as well, so there was a few familiar locations, which I believe people have put comparison shots up on Twitter. We're not going to talk about that. On the first day, none of the regular, the TARDIS team cast were there. On the second day, Jodie Whittaker did arrive, and Bradley Walsh, Tosin Cole, and Yasmin Khan, that's not her name, Mandip Gill, they didn't appear. It was just Jodie Whittaker on that last day, which is very interesting. She did absolutely no filming outside. All of her filming was done inside the cathedral. But you know what I love, and I appreciate it, and you can judge whatever you want about Series 11 and the writing, and Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. It's very clear to see that despite everything, no matter how she might feel about the role, she's enthusiastic. She's come out here after fans waiting there for 3 hours outside of a cathedral in the boiling sort of heat. She's come out. She's great. I've not seen a photo or video of her where she isn't smiling or laughing or looking like she's enjoying herself. And that's always great to see. It's obviously, especially with the filming of Series 11 and 12, there weren't many opportunities for people to, fans to come and actually meet her on set. So, you can see this is definitely something she enjoys, and it's clear to see she's enjoying playing the role. And it's great to see. It really is great to see. Jodie Whittaker with a big old smile on her face, and almost every photo she's with. She came out and took photos with almost every one of the fans. All the fans were dead happy. Jodie Whittaker looks incredibly happy as it is, and there's various different shots and videos of her. I think there's one here actually, I'll show you on screen now as I'm talking, of her actually sort of coming out of the cathedral, and just got a big grin on her face, sort of walking towards everyone. Everyone's taking photos of her, and she just starts right at the front and starts getting selfies with people, and it's just great. Signing autographs, taking pictures, all that sort of stuff. And it is really great to see from an actor on the show, because not many actors do this. Not many actors want to go out of their way to meet the people watching. Some people just think, well, they're watching the filming, that should be enough. Whereas, the Doctor Who cast have always been the kind of people who go out of their way to meet fans, sign autographs, all that sort of stuff, take photos, take selfies, etc. And it's great to see Jodie Whittaker keeping up that trend, not only just naturally, but with a great big smile on her face. Thinking about the Judoon now, they were filming on both days. On the first day, they started off the sort of first half of that first day, mostly without their sort of rhino masks on and stuff. It was just the people in the suits without the helmets on. It's very hot, they're wearing black suits of armour. You can totally understand that they were practicing their routines and all that sort of thing. We've got various different photos here of them actually filming outside of the cathedral here. You've got the sort of Judoon in their normal armour there. There's some other ones as well. One of the more interesting ones, again, standing in front of a green screen. So presumably that's going to be some sort of teleport effect where they sort of show up to Earth. Talking about theories and all that sort of thing, which we will do at the end in more detail. The Judoon were... In Smith & Jones, the Judoon were described as not having any jurisdiction over Earth. And that was because, they were... And also they were police for hire. They were thugs, intergalactic thugs that were kind of police for hire. Now, they were hired by the Shadow Proclamation at the time. What if they're hired by someone else now, and that someone else has jurisdiction over the Earth? Or doesn't care about the jurisdiction and just lets the Judoon go down anyway? Because last time the reason for the whole hospital being lifted onto the moon was because the moon is sort of equal playing ground. No one owns it. So, Earth, they weren't allowed to go down to Earth to find the plasma before. They had to take the hospital out of Earth. That was the whole reason for that story existing. So it would make sense if they stuck to that, and it'll be interesting to see of why or how they're actually able to be allowed to be on Earth now. Talking about continuation with that, we've got some more shots. The Captain Judoon, the one with the mohawk, seems to have a sort of symbol or design on the side of his helmet that we've never seen before, so that's brand new to the character. The photo on screen there, hopefully, should be him sort of halfway through taking his helmet off. You can kind of see that there. There's another shot of the, obviously, Captain 1 getting his actual headpiece on with the whole rhino head and all that sort of thing. You've got that exact same head sitting on a pillow, resting on the side of the set. So that's great to get a good shot of that, so we can actually kind of see the colours and compare the original design to the new design. This one looks a lot more grey. It's obviously got the hair. People were actually complaining about the hair. I was looking in some of my YouTube comments, like, yeah, well, I prefer it without hair. It's like, I mean, are you really going out your way to be that picky about, the new series? It's just ridiculous, because I mean, like, fair enough, criticize it when you feel it needs criticizing for valid criticism, but the series isn't even out yet, so you can't judge it. You might not like series 11, you might have hated series 11, but you haven't seen series 12 yet, so you cannot judge that based on a few pictures. You especially cannot judge that based on whether or not an older monster has hair or not. Fair enough if it was an afro, I'd understand that, but it's a little tuft of hair, just wait it out and find something better to criticise if you're going to be like that. There's a great shot of the sort of Commander Judoon there with the sort of the hair and all that sort of stuff. I think it looks great. I think it really does sort of set off the design a little bit. I do like how it's a little bit more grey, more like Earth actual kind of rhinos, other than the sort of weird beige colour that I had before. And yeah, we've got some more filming, so I'll play that out in its entirety before I sort of break down what was in that footage.
Action!
So that first clip you saw there is probably my favourite one. You can actually hear bits of dialogue in it, and I think the dialogue is very informative, very reminiscent of Smith & Jones, actually. So You can see them marching down, people scattering, so you've got that sort of, probably a wide shot there of them marching towards the cathedral, and people, humans, scattering. There's an old woman, who we'll talk about in just a bit, who is standing at the front objecting the Judoon, saying, no, this is a peaceful place, go away, you're not allowed to be here. You can see, there's, obviously, it's not Nicholas Briggs. Nicholas Briggs will be doing the voice of the Judoon, like he did in the previous installments of the Judoon appearing in the show, but this is obviously like an on-set person shouting the lines for the Judoon, so the people who are programming the mask can sort of fiddle about with it and play about in that sector. It's like a sort of throw, bow, show, whatever. You speak in Judoon. He then scans her, puts the thing on the chest and says dialect human. I believe that's what he says anyway. You can feel free to skip back through that footage and tell me if you think it says something different. That matches directly to what happened in Smith and Jones, where a Judoon captain pins the human against the wall, detects what he was saying, records what he was saying, plays it back, listens to it and goes, right, dialect human, so we're going to speak English. What confuses me about this is they are on Earth. They should know what the dialect is. So that's odd. But yeah, But anyway, so they have a bit of an argument. The old woman seems to be quite objectifying, kind of like, I'm not, don't get away from us. We're not scared of all this rubbish. Go away. We don't like it. That follows on to the next couple of shots, which I'll show you in a bit. So that shot there was a very short clip of the Judoon captain face, and it just shows the sort of mouth move and the robotics and animatronics in the mouth, similar to that of previous installments with the Judoon in them. Probably saying the lines from before, but being recorded obviously with, the actual sort of lip sync as well. So that's a bit closer and a bit nicer to see as well. The next two clips will show pretty much the same scene unfold, so I'll let it play on both sides, and I'll sort of guess at what I think's happening. Right, so that footage is very, very interesting. The same shot from two different angles, because you can see the old woman, again, we're going to talk about her in a minute, stands with the Judoon and then starts running. You can clearly see in the second part of that video, the second one that was shown on screen by Aidan Gooch, actually says, stay away from me, or something like that, before starting to run frantically towards the exit of what looks like a sort of little park outside the cathedral. Promptly, the Judoon turn round, and they don't seem to aim the weapons at her, but they probably do. She then stops and screams really loudly, which I presume to be the Judoon killing her on sight. Now, there's either two things here. Either the Judoon are being incredibly brutal, which I absolutely love. I think is a great idea because, gotta have some sort of proper impact from these older villains. And they've done it before. I mean, in Smith and Jones, they were hitting people. They were grabbing people by the throat, pushing them against the wall, questioning them. They are, as David Tennant's Doctor described, thugs. They are thugs. They are big, brooding people who are hired as sort of police, as sort of not secret service, as sort of like protection of sorts, police protection, all that sort of thing, depending on who's hiring them. And in this case, I don't know whether the old woman is an alien in disguise, who they're looking for. Presumably not, because that's quite a crap ending if that is the real alien. I presume the real alien is inside the cathedral or something to do, whatever they're looking for is in the cathedral, because that seems to be where the 13th Doctor's filming with them. Or the other thing, which I think is the old woman probably broke a law of the Judoon. We saw in Smith and Jones again when a man smacked a Judoon captain over the head with a chair or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was a chair. The Judoon actually did kill him on sight. So yeah, they don't take no crap to the Judoon. I'm trying not to swear there. So it seems like this old woman might have done something like that and then had a bit of a runaway and then got shot in the process, which then sort of solidifies how tough the Judoon actually are and why you do not want to mess with them. I don't want to, The final shot there that I just showed you was a nice little funny shot from the sidelines of filming after they've actually sort of kind of wrapped up a little bit, of the person inside the Judoon captain being sort of slowly walked away from the set so they can probably sit down and have a bit of a break, covering under an umbrella, because it's obviously a really warm day, and being inside a big black, you know, bit of armour, a rhino head, it's like, it must be ridiculously hot and painful to be in something like that all day. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the actual, like, kind of main Judoon footage. It's another bit of footage which I'll show you in a bit and talk about. But we've got here, let's have a look, we've got a close-up photo of the Judoon gun, the weapon. Nothing familiar to what before. They never had this in Smith & Jones, they've never had this in previous installments, they've always had the sort of little handguns, but I like it. It's a new design, very reminiscent of the older ones with the red colour scheme. I think it fits, I think it works, got no complaints there, and I think it looks quite nice, and it's quite nice to go, hey look, this is what the Judoon's guns are going to look like this series, so there you go. We've got a shot here of the guest actor, Neil Stuke, standing with the Judoon. The Judoon seems to be scanning him, you know, maybe it's similar to Smith & Jones in that respect, where they're sort of, where they're cataloguing each person, checking if they're human, checking if they're alien, that sort of thing. So it seems to be that, I don't know, maybe it seems that's what they're doing, I'm not 100% sure, because that doesn't look like the same device as before, that looks slightly different to the one they used in Smith & Jones, but then again, so does everything else they're using, like the massive gun they've got. So maybe that could be something else, but they seem to be doing it in various different shots. We've got another shot here of another Judoon pointing the scanner at a man's baby, sitting in a pram, sort of walking around the park. It seems like Neil Stuke's character looks to be objecting what's happening. And another shot here is of another Judoon scanning Neil Stuke's character, and another Judoon scanning the dad of the baby that's just been scanned. So there's various things going on here. This could mean various different things. Again, the Judoon probably looking for someone or something. Someone and something, maybe, who knows, but yeah, very interesting little snippets there. The next shot we got is of, rest in peace, the old woman who gets annihilated by the Judoon, and behind her we got a character called Ruth Clayton. We know that is her name because her face appears on a sort of signboard that was on set. Ruth Clayton's City Tours, Discover Gloucester. So I believe she is a kind of person who will take tourists in and give them a bit of a tour of, in this case, the cathedral. This is backed up by another bit of footage which we'll talk about in just a minute. But yeah, it's interesting. So I think the old woman actually could just be, like, not an alien. I think she might be just a member of the tourist crew, maybe showing up on sort of like a tour bus, got off to have a look at the cathedral and being taken around on a tour with Ruth Clayton. Who leads her right into the Judoon, maybe. I don't know what's going with this, but yeah, we'll watch a bit of the footage here. It's very, very small, but it's officially released BBC News footage of Ruth Clayton's character talking whilst being filmed.
Hello! I've lived here all my life. I know all the exciting facts. Go on then. Okay.
Yeah, so I can't be 100% on what exactly she's saying. She's like, hello, I've lived here all my life, I'm here, I know all the exciting attractions. Something like that, which is just generically what we know already. She's a tour guide who tours around the cathedral. She's obviously wearing some sort of pass as well, an ID pass, that sort of thing. So she's a character that maybe gives people tours around the local area, mainly the cathedral, which will tie into, you know, sort of events going on around there. It's good that they're giving sort of other roles, sort of fleshing out, you know, because sometimes as well, I mean, it's stuff like, looking at another cathedral example, which we talked about earlier from the Lazarus experiment, there was no one there. There was no one who owned that cathedral. You know, that cathedral would have been owned by someone, but no one cares about that. It was just like, oh, yeah, big spider, scorpion person invading, and, you know, there would have been proper action taken there. Well, it's nice to see here, in this episode, the Judoon are obviously looking for something inside the cathedral, the 13th Doctor's there, but the Judoon will have to get past all these people first, like the normal people who work there, the people who work at the cathedral, the people who are wanting to see the cathedral. There will be other people there, you know, it's not just vacant, you know, give or take the actual aliens and like the Doctor and maybe like a few extras. These are actual characters. The old woman gets shot, Ruth seems to be showing people around, and you've got Neil Stuke's character, that father character. There's other people who are being sort of investigated by Judoon who probably are going to play a decent part in the story, given that they're guest actors. Either way, that is, I think, pretty much everything. At least I hope, because it's been a long recording session. Episode 6 or 7, I believe, mid-series. Judoon are coming back, one of probably a few returning villains, hopefully. I think I've got pretty much everything there. If there's any other questions anyone has, if there's any other theories anyone has, please do let me know in the comments below. But I'm actually quite looking forward to this. This episode looks moderately promising. It looks like it's returning very much to that Russell T Davies era kind of style episode. And the reason I'd say that not only is because of the Judoon, but the Judoon mission seems very similar to that Smith & Jones. So as long as it's not just a sort of rinse and repeat formula, I feel that it's just going to feel like a really kind of Russell T Davies era episode. We have no idea who's writing this, we have no idea who's putting this forward. Presumably, you know, I don't know. I don't even think it will be Chris Chibnall. I think it'll probably be a guest writer or something. But you know, we've got no inclination on writer or director at this point, but yeah, it seems very exciting. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel with notifications on if you would like, because you know, YouTube's a mess, and it'd be nice to get notifications into people's inbox, you know, when I've actually subscribed, opposed to having to look for it yourself. You know, it's less effort for you in the future if you just put notifications on. It's fun, it's enjoyable. Talking about enjoyable, if you want early access and exclusive content, you can also check out my Patreon page, which I've been running for quite a while now. So big thanks to all the people who are still supporting that. Your names are in the description, and your names are on the end screen sort of thing as well with the vortex, if you are a current patron of $5 or more. So if you are interested in checking out all the perks and deals and all that sort of stuff, make sure you check out the Patreon page. I've got a Discord server as well, which is also linked in the description, and is a lot of fun there as well. You can talk about Doctor Who, you can talk about Doctor Who filming, you can discuss with me all your different theories. You know, I will read the comments and I'll reply to as many as I seem necessary, but in Discord you can ask me a question. I'll always answer it because it's in Discord and I see it and it's like a messaging thing. So yeah, that's always great. So if you have any burning questions or any sort of burning theories that you want to put forward, please do feel free to join the Discord server and speak to a few community members there. Other than that, I've got nothing else to sort of boast or brag or advertise about, other than my Twitter page, which is also linked in the description. I will see you all next time. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.